Good morning to everyone who is present. In a lot of new faces. Welcome all the brethren. This topic is you have heard many times. It is known as the Sermon on the Mount. Sermon on the Mount, where Jesus teaches the Beatitudes. In fact, I think Brother Ting also spoke on once when he was in Malaysia. Anyway, we will learn more of what this attitude is all about. Jesus taught this attitude. We call Beatitudes, beautiful attitude. How we can cultivate this attitude and be a part of us, and we can be well rewarded in our lives, both here and hereafter. Beautiful attitude. So to begin, I would like to read through the beautiful attitudes. But today, I will only emphasize on the merciful. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. More on that. Thank you. I don't know if you could write that. I'm very fearful. Anyway, this Beatitudes, read from verse 3 again to recap. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy or receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Blessed are those who are being persecuted for the sake of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when men revile you and persecute you, and say all kinds of evil against you falsely on account of me. Rejoice and be glad, for great is your reward in heaven. So they persecuted the prophets who were before you. So this is a real blessing. When we talk about blessed, is happiness. Blessed man. The blessed man is a happy man. Remember in Psalm chapter 1 talks about blessed is a man who walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, but sitteth in the seat of the scoffers. No? But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law does he meditate day and night. So blessed man. The Beatitudes means the supreme blessedness or happiness. And here Jesus discussed the blessedness of those who possess certain qualities. And he seems to be answering the questions people might be asking on two aspects. What are the two aspects? Who are the citizens of the kingdom? And what reward do they receive? Who are the citizens of the kingdom? And what rewards do they receive? Let's look at the aspect of those who are the citizens of the kingdom. Those citizens of the kingdom possess these characteristics, and it includes these 8 qualities. What are the 8 qualities that we have just learned? Is the poor in spirit, the mourn, those who mourn for their sins, for they shall be comforted. Those who are meek, the gentle, not the weak, the hunger and thirst after righteousness, the pure in heart, merciful, peacemakers, those are persecuted for righteousness' sake. These are the qualities of the citizens of the kingdom of heaven. But today let us look more closely on blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Actually, the merciful means compassion on the unfortunate. God is a God of mercy. We are made in the image of God, and we must learn to be merciful, to show mercy on those whom we example of a woman who came to Jesus, and she was from Tyre and Sidon, or they call Canaanitish woman. This woman wants Jesus to what? Drive out the demon. She has a daughter who was devil-vexed daughter, called to Jesus, "Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David." Let's turn to Matthew chapter 15. What was Jesus' response? This example of Jesus being merciful to the woman. In verse 22, it says, "Behold, a Canaanitish woman came out from the region and began to cry out, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, son of David. My daughter is cruelly demon-possessed." But he did not answer a word. And the disciples came to him and kept asking him, saying, "Send her away, for she is shouting out after us." But he answered and said, "I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." So what was Jesus' reply? Jesus says, "I was sent only to the people of Israel." In other words, she is not of Israel. She is not from the house of Israel. So what the woman replied? She was so determined that she came and bowed down before Jesus. She has such great determination and such faith in Jesus, saying that, "Lord, help me." Jesus then replied and said, what did he say? He says, it is not good to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs. What does it all mean? It means, from what we know, that Jesus, the gospel was at first given to the Jews, to the lost house of Israel. It was first the nation of the Israel. Then later only through Paul, then Paul says, "I am the ambassador in born to the Jews." Just like that, "I'm not ashamed of the gospel, but the power of God and salvation unto the Jews, and then also to the Gentiles." So this time, Jesus was not impolite in that sense. He was just saying that, you see, in the world at that time, they always think that those people who are not non-Jews are the dogs or the barbarians. Just like those people, they treat those people outside their nation as barbarians or barbarian world. So it says, "It is not good to take the children." What she replied? She said, "Yes, Lord, but even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from the master's table." That means they're willing to accept whatever condition. He was so humble that he had such great faith. And now Jesus replied and said, if you read further, he says that, "Thy faith has made thee whole." Then Jesus said to her, "O woman, your faith is great." Verse 28, "Be it done for you as you wish." And the daughter was healed at once. So the daughter was healed at once because of her great faith. Great faith. That's an example of a great faith of those who have trust in God, and also she is not from the house of Israel, and yet she has so great faith. But today, we also need faith to be pleasing to God. The book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 6 says, "Without faith, it is impossible to please God. For he that cometh to God, whoever cometh to God, must believe that He is God, and that He is a rewarder of them that diligently seek Him." Number 2, we must diligently seek Him. We must be seeking Him. See, God seeks those who are His seekers. So we must look out for those. We must be seeking His truth, His word, and Him. We must seek Him, because to be pleasing to Him, we must have faith, and we can seek Him. The faith is great. And what is faith? Faith is defined in the Bible, Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. It's the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So it is something we hope for, but it's not blind faith. It is the evidence of things not seen, but yet it is something we hope for. And how does faith come? How does faith come? So those people who are outside today, they have not had any faith. Why? Because they haven't had this source of faith. What is the source of faith? Where does faith come from? The Bible gives us the answer. In Romans chapter 10, let's turn to Romans chapter 10, verse 17. All of us know this verse. So then, faith comes by hearing, and hearing the word of God. That's right. We need to hear the word of God to get faith, to obtain faith. And to develop our faith, we need to continue to listen to the word of God. Whenever the word of God is preached, we need to open our ears, listen to the word of God. The word of God has been preached, it will increase our faith. If you want to have more faith, if you want to be faithful to God, you must listen to the word of God. You must read the word of God. You must study the word of God. There's no shortcut. We have to have this avenue, because we will all be taught by the word of God. Because the word of God is the truth. Is the truth. We need the truth. What is truth? The word of God is truth. John 17:17. John 17:17 says, sanctify them to thy truth. Thy word is truth. The word of God is truth. The word of God, and it can cleanse us. It's only the word of God which is the perfect law of liberty. So it's very important that we need to keep the word of God. The psalmist says, thy word have I hid in my heart, that I may not sin against you. That's right. The more we have the word of God in us, the more we can resist the power of the devil, the power of sin, the dominion of sin. Because the word of God can push out what is unclean and also what is evil. The word of God is very strong. Why? How do I know the word of God is very strong? You know the word of God is books. It's called the sword of the Spirit. It is called sword of the Spirit. It cuts both ways. Let's turn to Hebrews chapter 4. Paul, the apostle writer, the Hebrew writer says in verse 12. What did he say? The word of God is a living and active and sharper than any two-edged sword. Two-edged, the sword with two sides. When you cut it cuts both ways. That shows that it's sharper than any two-edged sword. Piercing. How far does it go in? Piercing as far as the division of soul and the spirit, of the joints and the marrow, and is able to judge the thoughts and intents of the heart. So it's able to cut our heart. Are we cut in the heart? When the word of God is preached, we must be cut in the heart. If our heart cannot be cut with the word of God, it means our heart is too hardened. So we really have to soften our heart. We have to humble to soften our heart. See? That's why we must be able to feel that the word of God is working on us. That we must know that it is actually speaking to us and prick us. Nothing wrong to be pricked by the word of God. That's right. If it is so hardened, just like the Pharaoh's heart, then we cannot do anything. So we really have to be humble, submit to God, submit to God. incident of Jesus showing mercy is a man, the man's son, who is a lunatic. He is very ill, and he often falls into the fire and also into the water. Remember this occasion? And then the disciples, Jesus' disciples were trying to drive out the demons from the boy, but they couldn't do it. So what did the man say? The man asked Jesus for help, and he says, "Have mercy on my son." Let's turn to Matthew chapter 17. This is our account, and he says, "Have mercy." You see, Jesus was merciful. Verse 15 says, "Lord, have mercy on my son. He is a lunatic and is very ill, for he often falls into the fire and often into the water." Then, what was Jesus' reply? Jesus had mercy on him, and he rebuked the demon, and the boy was cured at once. Verse 18. Jesus was merciful to the boy's father. He rebuked, and he showed mercy. Mercy actually then denotes the sparing of punishment for one who deserves it. What do I mean by that? Mercy denotes the sparing of punishment for one who deserves it. Bring an example. Example is a man who is to be hanged. He was sentenced to be hanged. After the court has pronounced that he needs to be hanged, then after the last hour, someone came with before dawn. He said, "You must be hanged before dawn." Then he came with a letter. He said, "You are free to go." Imagine if you were in his position. Imagine his position when he received the letter. He couldn't believe his eyes. "Oh, I'm free!" Pardon. Pardon. "Oh, I'm pardoned." So, this is mercy. He receives mercy. We were once this man. We were once this man, the old man or our old self. But now we have obtained mercy because God has given us mercy. Let's turn to 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9 and 10. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9 and 10 talks about who are we? Who are we? Are we proud of who we are? We are a royal priesthood, a chosen race, a holy nation, a people for God's own possession, that you may proclaim the excellencies of Him who has called you out of darkness into the marvelous light. Verse 10. For you were once not a people. We were aliens. We were foreigners. But now you are the people of God. You had not received mercy, but now you have received mercy. Yes. We are pardoned and we have obtained mercy. We are now the people of God, having obtained mercy. That's what we are. We should be proud that we are the royal priesthood. Royal priesthood in the sense that we can communicate to God. We do not need any priest to help us. We are priests because we can communicate to God through Jesus Christ. He is our high priest. So we are all priests of God. That's right. It's a royal priesthood, a chosen race, a holy nation. We are expected to be holy. God says, be ye holy, for I am holy. Because God is holy. He cannot be defiled. See, that's why we cannot be unclean. Or if we are not holy, then we cannot approach God. So we need to cleanse ourselves of this sin, a people for onwards possession. Jesus also showed his compassion for mankind. It is the sowing.